No, it really depends on you. Some of these things are vital for your comfort here in the Philippines. This will really make your life easier.
I do the same thing, I told you that I never would. I told you I'd change, even when I knew I never could. Know that I can't find nobody else as good as you. I need you to stay, hey, yeah. I get drunk, wake up, I'm wasted.
Welcome back to another video, guys. Learning to be Filipino. Appreciate you guys coming joining me again for another vlog. Today I'll be discussing a few things that you would need when living here in the Philippines, and I'm sure every expat that is living in the Philippines can relate to this. Before we get into the video, I see 82% of my viewers aren't subscribed to my channel. Hit the subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. Like, comment, and share if you feel like this video has some value for you. Stay tuned to the end because I'm going to be giving you the most critical thing you need in this country when living in the Philippines. The first thing I would say you need here, if you're going to be setting up with an apartment or a house, and you're going to be in the countryside, maybe a little bit on the outskirts of the city, or even in the province, you're going to need some sort of backup energy source, just in case there are any brownouts. Well, in this country, there are frequent brownouts for two reasons. The first reason would be scheduled maintenance. Then the other one is during the evening, and it's unscheduled. It's randomly. Maybe there's a thunderstorm, maybe there's some high winds. Either way, you want to be prepared. And if you're not prepared, then you could find yourself in a pool of sweat, waking up, wondering what happened to the electricity. Or you could wake up in the morning and it can shut off while you're having your morning coffee, especially when there are power outages. There are some small generators that you can buy for $100 equivalent or $200 equivalent, which comes with an AC adapter, which is your standard plug, right? You can actually buy this from Shopee or Lazada. If you guys don't know, Lazada and Shopee, they're like the Amazon or the marketplace. That one would be most recommended. And guys, remember, you know, Philippines is so hot. You want to make sure you buy yourself a USB solar capable fan. It's very important. The scheduled maintenance happens during the day, starts in the morning, maybe 4 to 7 hours, and you'll be without power throughout the hottest parts of the day, and sometimes it could be hell. That's the temperature and how it feels in the summer here in the Philippines. So my first recommendation for you guys is to get yourself some kind of backup support, and that would be solar capability. Now the next on my list is so critical, but it's not as critical as the last one, so stay tuned. Hope you guys are staying with me up until this point and waiting for the last point, which is the most important. So this one, you know, I had to learn the hard way. I really had to learn the hard way. So when I came to the Philippines, I came with my iPhone. I came with my brand new MacBook Pro. You know, I came out here prepared with all of my original chargers and everything from the US. And 6 or 7 months down the line, I started having issues with my devices. At the end of it, my MacBook Pro just completely died out. Something happened to the screen, and I called Apple support. They said, "Oh, what country are you in?" I said, "I'm in the Philippines." Same thing happened to my phone, my iPhone 7 Plus. The battery swelled up and I could no longer use my iPhone 7 Plus. So the Apple support guy told me that in Asia, the output of the electricity is 240 versus in America, it's 140. This one was a terrible mistake, and I didn't know this. This is the first time I was traveling to Asia. And I was actually charging my devices with 100 more volts than it needed. So it was overcharging, which means that it fried my devices. Which means that it fried also my MacBook Pro, and it damaged my LCD on the MacBook. So this is a mistake you don't want to make, guys. This is a very critical thing you're going to need here. You're going to be living here. You're going to be bringing your gadgets and your devices here. So you got to make sure you buy this converter. So this converter, you plug in one way, which this converter reads your 140, and it'll regulate the exact amount of 140 volts to your device. Make sure you get the converter, guys. You can also get that from Shopee or Lazada. The next one is funny because I also had to learn the hard way. And when I came out here with a lot of clothes, but not enough apparently. So you'll learn out here that Americans are much bigger in size than the people are here and what they wear here, especially with the shoes, the shirts. So when I came out here, obviously I was out here and years passed by, and yeah, I start to notice my clothes deteriorating and becoming faded. And I started to, you know, shop online on Lazada and Shopee, and I ordered some things. You know, my size at the time was a 2XL, American size. And I get my package and I open it up, and the 2X is actually equivalent to a medium. So the websites can actually deceive you, and it's actually Korean size, mostly Korean size. So Korean people are very small, and they do go by the same size labels, but I will tell you that they're much smaller than the size labels in the US. So you got to make sure you come out here with, you know, if you are a heavy set guy or a tall guy, big and tall kind of guy, a husky guy, make sure you come out here with some extra clothes, and you'll thank me later, because, you know, try to fit into some skinny stuff where you're not gonna feel comfortable, especially you wasted money on something and you thought it was your size, and come to find out it wasn't. That goes also for the shoes. If you go shopping here for shoes, the quality is going to be different unless you're shopping in the major cities. You can have access to some Nike, genuine stuff, but you know, the sizes are just not as big as they are in the US. I have trouble sometimes going and buying shoes, and I ask for a size 10 and a half or 11, which is like 44 or 45 EU, and they look at me like, hold on, let me check the back. Like they never have that size up front. So you'll have problems also with socks. Yeah, just things are just a bit smaller here in the Philippines. So make sure you you take note of that. Last thing you want happen is to be without any clothes here, or be with very little clothes. And the last one, guys, is critical. I can't stress to you enough that patience is the most important factor that you must have here as a foreigner. It is so important that it can mean you having a good reputation or a bad reputation. Because if you analyze the foreigners here that are impatient, usually are belligerent and maybe at times disrespectful to the locals, and or maybe to their wife too. And those foreigners are frowned upon. Those foreigners, at some point, people will not even look at them or smile at them. You know, this place here, the people have a different mentality, you know, than the US or any other place in the Western areas. People here smile, people here are happy, people here are joyful. Even if they're having a bad day, you probably wouldn't even know it. So if you're having a bad day in this country and you show it, it can mean that people are going to look at you differently. All right, so patience is important. And I mean, like at the ATM, okay? There's 3 ways you can become impatient at the ATM. 3 scenarios that you will probably go crazy about. Number 1 is if there is a brownout, then the ATMs aren't even functional. They have no electricity to function, to even work. Number 2, ATMs are out of money. Number 3 is the last one. Number 3 is the most frustrating at times, even for me too, but my patience has improved greatly as I've been here for many years. The last one is definitely the long waits, the long lines. At times you could be in a line in the blistering heat for 30 to 45 minutes, and then sometimes you're waiting in line and you're maybe 5 or 3 people until you get to the ATM to use it, and then maybe there's either no money or something happened where it's not available. So that could be frustrating. For example, the ATM. Second, the people, the way they perceive noise and ruckus here is different from how we perceive it. So noise, things that you could hear, karaoke, roosters, dogs, you know, just little kids playing out everywhere. There's a lot of fiestas and festivals here. So you have to be very, very adaptable. You have to be very accepting. If you're willing to stay in this country, then you should be. That should just be your natural mindset going to another country. There are so many foreigners that I've encountered. Well, not so many. There are some foreigners that I encountered that are very grumpy. Usually those are the older guys. The younger guys like myself, you know, early to mid 30s, they're just more open to everything and more accepting and adaptable for the most part. So the patience factor is the most important, because in this country it's all about Filipino time. You can encounter some of these issues even at the immigration office. You know, you're going to be staying here and extending your visa every 2 to 6 months. You have to be waiting in long lines at the immigration. And that is where your patience will be tested also, and you must be on your P's and Q's, because in this country you can be deported for being annoying, and you can be deported for being disrespectful. They'll deny you a visa. So if you're belligerent or disrespectful to the people at the immigration office, so it all boils down to your patience. That is the last thing on my list, guys. And yeah, you probably heard it from other YouTubers, but yeah, we cannot We cannot stress it enough that that is very important. Once you survive a few years here in the Philippines, you'll learn that your patience has improved greatly. Thank you very much. That'll be it for today, guys. I hope everybody stood to the end of the video. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you guys have any questions on working online and making money while you're in the Philippines or in any other country as an expat, just hit me up. I do some consulting at a very small charge. I'll point you into the direction to where you can make at least $2 grand a month. That is a very awesome amount of money here in the Philippines. Hit me up, guys. And remember, a lot of people need help out there. So if you happen to be going to the store to buy some beer or hitting up your plug for some weed, remember that there's some people out there that are homeless. Maybe they need something, even $1, even 10 pesos, even 20 pesos. Wherever you may be, help somebody out. They probably need it more than you. Take care, everybody, and God bless. I'll see you next time.
I need you to stay, hey. I get drunk, wake up, I'm wasted still. I realize the time that I wasted here. I feel like you can't feel the way I feel. I'll be paralyzed if you ain't right here. Oh.